Hey, what's good? What's popping? Never get it twisted. My name got a prefix. And 2 X's, baby!
Shine. This is my time, my life. Married to the game, my wife. Life.
In our country, especially in Botswana, why do you think we need to exercise our right to own a gun?
Well, there are several reasons why a person would and should own a gun. The decision of whether or not you want to purchase and bear arms should be all up to you. Typically, the reason why countries have gun rights is to, number one, arm law-abiding citizens to provide them with a deterrence to violent crime and property damage, right? And number two is to arm citizens to protect them against the possibility of a tyrannical government turning their guns on the people.
So, interesting facts about private gun ownership in this country is that we are number 133 in the world of private gun ownership, meaning we have 4.1 guns per 100,000 people in this country. That totals it to approximately 97,000 total guns in this state. Estimated 32,901 registered guns and 64,099 unregistered guns. How do you have more unregistered guns in this country?
Well, it's what I'm always saying when I have these talks about gun control and gun rights generally, is that it seems to be the trend. It seems to be the trend because most countries, even the ones that rank low on violent crime, that rank low on gun ownership, that rank high on gun ownership, most countries have more unregistered firearms than registered firearms.
And in the name of finding out the real reason, I took the liberty of searching through the internet to find the trend. And the real trend in our country is the arms quota. Part of the reason why we actually have more unregistered firearms is because Botswana has an arms quota of 50 people. Basically, every year the government does a raffle draw like this one, where they randomly pick out 50 people out of the thousands that have applied to register their firearms. They go through a vetting process like taking their fingerprints and checking it against criminal records, or checking your pre-existing medical conditions to check if you're mentally fit to own guns. I must say Mpuluki is definitely one of the lucky citizens in this country to have registered their firearms. I say this because in 2019, whoa, stop, point of order, is actually 2018. 50 out of the 6,498 people who applied for rifles and shotgun licenses only won that first stage. Some might say this is a way of our government maintaining peace, but to Mpuluki, he thinks that having more guns in our country that are registered will actually cause a decline in crime in our country, also including countries like
Finland, the USA, Norway, New Zealand, have all seen a drop of close to or over 50% in crime in the period of 1990 to 2019. That is more than 50%. Most importantly, these are all countries where you can purchase a legal firearm freely. Yes.
Unlike this, because I don't think we're allowed to own a pistol, for example. You can only own what exactly?
Shotguns and hunting
rifles.
In fact, if I understand correct, our parliament is trying to introduce a law. We will need to license pellet guns as well.
Pellet guns? Pellet guns?
Pellet guns.
Wow. Really? What do you think? Comment down below. Do you think the government should start controlling pellet guns as well? Because would you say that lethal or non-lethal, or just it depends on the type of gun?
It depends on the caliber. It depends on where you shoot the person, how close. But generally, they're non-lethal.
We have noticed an increase in our crimes in this state because although we don't have the Botswana crime stats right now, we're looking at microtrends.com right now, and the crime stats that they have of us are from 2012, and we don't know when they're gonna update them, but we all definitely, me and you both know that crime has increased in this country. How then does it solve crimes?
Because think of who needs to own an unregistered firearm.
Criminals, drug dealers, con men.
The very people that you need.
The shadow economy. The shadow economy, my guy.
Yeah. The people who are willing to to harm you, the law-abiding citizen. That means rape, that means kill you, that means destroy your property. They do not need rights to buy guns.
Alright.
They do not need the blessing of the state to buy a gun.
If we now start getting more registered guns, doesn't that also now increase the amount of gun crimes that occur in the state itself?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Because it's not like we haven't had any guns available to us.
Yes.
Yeah, there've always been guns in this country.
Okay,
But the
then
rate of gun crime is generally lower.
it is
Generally low in the country, period.
all right, because that's where my worry is, because there is more knives or knife-related crimes in this country. But now when we
Which
start
brings me back to my point again that,
Yeah.
you know, the gun is not going to commit the gun crime on its own, right?
Yes, yes.
If a person wants to kill you, he's going to kill you.
all right, that is fine. But
So
now, okay,
a person doesn't necessarily need a gun to commit a crime. Purchasing and bearing an arm should always be the decision of the individual. If you are a law-abiding citizen, the only thing that should stop you from being able to purchase a gun is whether or not you want a gun.
people are being killed by knives more than guns.
Yes.
So why more guns?
To stop people killing you with knives.
Because we have more unregistered.
Yeah, well, if
we
you
have
do
more unregistered
open up,
guns
if you
than
do
any-
open up gun rights, you know, more people will have guns. There'll be more guns in the country by virtue of the fact that, you know, you're allowed to own them.
Yes.
But my point is that, look, whether they use a knife, whether they use an unregistered firearm, whether they use a brick, a criminal will always find a way to hurt you if he wants to hurt you. Your job as a law-abiding citizen is to protect yourself, your family,
Okay.
and your property. North Korea doesn't have, there's quite a few countries with fewer guns than North Korea. North Korea stands at a healthy 0.3 guns per 100,000 people.
Yeah, because they're state-owned. They're not really. I'm talking about a country that has more soldiers in the world per that population. How does that protect them from government-perpetuated violence, for example? When people right now, for example, from the said propaganda in the news, people from Korea say that they're scared of their government because of perpetuated violence.
Well, if someone attacks you and you have a gun, are you gonna be scared?
Not really.
Not
I mean, it's a half-half
Because
thing.
it's one
Because
thing.
I don't
it's one
own a
thing-
gun.
Because look, it's one thing to be scared, right?
Yes, yes.
It's another thing to be scared
Eh.
with tools.
Okay,
You
yes,
understand?
yes.
If you have the tools, you stand a chance.
All right.
You understand?
Yes.
If you don't have the tools, you will always be a victim to the person who has the tools.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, in the security and defense world, right, there's a phrase that goes like escalation of violence.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I'll give you an example, right? Police in the US, right, are trained to always maintain one level of escalation above the opponent.
Okay.
Right. So if you are a criminal and I'm a police,
Yes.
right, and you have a knife when I come,
Yes.
I'm gonna pull out my taser.
Yeah.
You understand?
But that's
If you
not
have a
always been the
taser,
case.
if you have a
for
taser-
black people in America, for example.
That's a
But
conversation
that's
for
a
another
conversation
day.
for another day.
If you have a taser,
Yeah.
I pull out a firearm.
Yeah.
If you have a firearm, I call backup.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you call backup, I call SWAT. You call SWAT, I call in the army.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
You should always, if you want to be safe,
Yeah.
you need to always be in a position to maintain one level of escalation
Above your
your opponent.
opponent. We can talk about the gun, what's happening in the US, and also the gun rates, for example, that are there as well. Because according to these stats, my guy, you said Alaska has the highest rate of guns, right? In all the states. Primarily because they live in the middle of nowhere. It's isolated. 3 that most probably hunters.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know what life in America is like.
Yeah, yeah.
But these all seem to be states with a high enthusiasm for hunting, right? With a high enthusiasm for Second Amendment rights.
Yeah.
And also what you will notice if you're politically inclined is that most of them are red states.
You talking about that? Yeah.
Republican states.
Sorry, America. Peace. We waving the flags. We don't mean we come in peace. We're just trying to figure out if we really need guns in bots. Okay? We can spend the whole day here talking about all the stats and how much we really need guns. I'm gonna talk about my experience with holding a gun. If you're already watching it this far, you've been enjoying some gun shooting content. We've been shooting our shots.
That was so cheesy. That's corny as
Shooting our shots, baby. Yeah, man, that's how we roll up in this. Because it was my first time shooting a shotgun, right? Can we consider paintball as a dangerous weapon? Paintball,
no, non-lethal
guns?
weapon.
It's
it can be used as a non-lethal weapon.
Yeah.
Like for an example, you know of the riots that have been happening in the US, the Black Lives Matter riots.
Yeah.
One of the non-lethal tactics that was used by police when they finally came in to clear up some of the rioters. This must have been like last week or the week before.
Yeah.
They used non-lethal weapons, and amongst them was high velocity paintballs.
Alright.
Hurt like hell, but they won't kill you.
Alright, of course, I mean, it's a paintball, it really does hurt. But this one right here, ladies and gentlemen, will drop you, alright? I managed to shoot 5 out of the bullets and I hit 2. I'm disappointed with myself because your sister beat me, okay?
Leaning back, I told you about leaning back, bro.
Jesus! Yay! Okay. Okay, this motherfucker.
Everyone leaning back.
Leaning back.
Yeah, no, I
Lean
think it's just a matter of I need more practice.
Yeah.
You know? Holding this gun was so heavy. Like, even when I was holding it, yes, of course, I was nervous, which is why I was taking so long to shoot. And I was shaky a bit because it was heavy. But for camera enthusiasts, if you are, the weight of this gun is equivalent to me having my Steadicam like this and putting one of our cameras on top here. Maybe a much bigger lens, but it's equivalent to, it's much heavier than this actually. What do you think?
This feels slightly heavier than the gun for sure.
Slightly.
Yeah, this is definitely heavier than the gun.
Yeah, I mean, because the camera is on top, but I mean, when I was trying to measure it earlier, it felt like they were about the same weight because, you know, like there's actually weights here and then weights here, which balances it to be like some like straight like that. So anyway, are there any gun ranges or are there any places where people can actually shoot, unlike us when we went to the farm?
I know of one range. That's the one got 10.
Okay, and
it's being used by the Gaborone Rifle Club. Yes,
okay.
I am a member.
And you are a member,
yes.
So as a member, you don't need to join as without owning a gun like myself. Like, I don't need to join it now, do I? I need to have a gun. I mean, why would I go to a gun range without a gun, bro?
Yeah,
Like,
that would make sense for you to have a gun, but I'm sure there's nothing stopping you from going to shoot your friend's gun at the range for so long as
yeah. But
follow the rules of the range.
All right, but please comment down below and let us know what you think about this video and if you think we should talk more about guns. I hope you guys enjoyed it and thank you so much, bruh. I think we should actually go shoot one of these weeks when I'm not busy here at work. Guys, I really enjoyed this guy. That's why I don't want to own a gun. But thank you so much. Where can people follow you, man? Where can people, do you have anything or any gun related content that you'd like to share with people in the near future?
Follow my Facebook page, Make Botswana Tactical. Yeah, show us some support. We've got videos coming your way, so come check us out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where you discovered this video, but I want you to do me a favor. If you discovered this on Instagram, make sure that you're following me. If you discovered this on Twitter, make sure you're following. If you're discovering this on Facebook, make sure you like the page. But if you're on YouTube right now, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel because it'll help it grow, because I've been missing you guys. Yeah, I know you missed me too. Like that thing, like this video, and make sure that you subscribe because I need it, baby. I need it. All right, until next time, shop.
Shine. This my time, my life. 24/7 I grind. I'm feeling alive. I got no plans to die. Shine. This is my time, my life. Married to the game, my wife. Like.
So at this point, I'm kind of half about it.